This is Paris, one of the world's most magical cities, a must-see destination for any globe-trotting tourist. I'm here on a day trip. I've got just 8 hours to do a tour of some of its most famous landmarks, so I can't afford to hang around. Fortunately, I have the ideal car for my trip, a splendid 1988 Citroën Derchevaux Special with just 12,000 kilometres on the clock. But I'm going to need more than a set of wheels to achieve my tight sightseeing goal, because Paris is renowned for being one of Europe's most congested and confusing cities to pilot yourself around. Which is where these 3 devices should come to my aid, because each has been equipped with a satellite navigation function. But can they possibly do as good a job of guiding me as a dedicated sat-nav? Well, I'm here to find out. Now, here's my plan for the day. At the moment, I'm at the Sacré-Cœur here, and I'm going to head south to visit Notre Dame Cathedral before nipping across to visit the Arc de Triomphe and then heading back across the river to finish up at the Eiffel Tower. And to maximise my sightseeing experience and make sure these devices are thoroughly road-tested, I'm going to plug in a few waypoints. My first part-time sat-nav comes courtesy of a TomTom app on the iPhone. Go to the iTunes App Store and you can download a number of different mapping applications. I chose TomTom's version because you can also buy a purpose-built mount for it, which comes with a built-in speaker and an additional chip for better GPS reception. TomTom have also incorporated their IQ Routes feature, which uses data gathered from millions of motorists' actual journeys to recommend the best route for the time of day. I wonder what it'll recommend for 11 a.m. and my journey to Notre Dame. And I think I'm going to put in a waypoint for the Pompidou Centre. It's a good clear screen. I mean, it's actually rather like having a normal TomTom. The voice instructions come through reasonably loudly on the cradle.
After 200 yards, bear right.
Thanks to the boosted signal from the TomTom mount, the iPhone was performing admirably, and I was soon at my waypoint, the Pompidou Centre. However, I wasn't convinced that the TomTom application was giving me much help with the traffic. Parisians are so impatient. There's no use hooting at me. Well, so much for these IQ routes. Well, maybe this could be unexpected congestion. It doesn't actually have the live traffic that you get on proper TomToms or the HD traffic. So you have to make do without those. Would they be useful? I can't tell. That question aside, I felt the iPhone had operated with the same efficiency as a normal TomTom unit, and I was duly delivered to the front door of Notre Dame. Completed in 1345, its central window is a massive 13 metres in diameter. However, there was little opportunity to admire it because time was cracking on. For the next leg of my tour, I'd be using the Archos 5 internet tablet. For an additional payment, this multimedia device can be equipped with sat-nav functionality provided by N-Drive. The Archos has the luxury of a 5-inch screen, though you do have to plan ahead a bit more. For my trip to the Arc de Triomphe via a waypoint at the Louvre, for example, I've got to think ahead and plan an itinerary. And to get there, I have to go through the cumbersome menu system. My N-Drive, manage my itineraries, create one, put a place on it. Add, POI, Paris, yes, culture, museum, Musée du Louvre. Add, POI, Paris, I would have put the town in again. Tourism, 3D landmark, Arc de Triomphe, done. Itinerary, okay, navigate. 250 yards, turn right, I think we're there. Whew. Not quite such loud instructions as the iPhone, although it's a bigger unit, and they sound a bit distorted as well. See, I couldn't hear that over the noise of the engine. I rather like these 3D representations of local landmarks, though I suspect you won't be getting them if you're not in big cities like London and Paris. In spite of those few sound issues, the Archos delivered me successfully to my waypoint. Well, sort of. Ooh, I've got a picture of the Louvre on here. Actually, this is taking me to a useless bit of the Louvre. You'd never want to go in there. It was time to move on, but at this point, the Archos completely lost its bearings. Ooh, and we've lost the signal. Can't be no entry. Doesn't say no entry on here. Oh. However, it duly recovered, and I was back on my way. Ah, the Champs-Élysées. And I, of course, can see the Arc de Triomphe. I'm getting myself primed, ready for Paris roundabout aggression. I'd reached my second destination, though the Archos hadn't piloted me with anything like the confidence of the iPhone's TomTom. The Arc de Triomphe was commissioned by Napoleon to toast his many victories. Get out of my way! But my celebration at reaching the mighty arch had to be brief, as dusk was now falling. To make my final journey across town, I'd be using an adapted version of Sony's popular portable gaming console, the PSP. This is the Go Explore. You get Nav and Go software, including European mapping, fits onto this UMD disc that slots into the back of the PSP. You get GPS receiver, which slots into the top of the PSP via its USB socket, and you get this mount to stick the PSP on your windscreen. The Go Explore mapping system can only be used on Sony's original PSP unit, not the new PSP Go, their mini handheld games console. And this really is the prettiest of the options so far. It's the ideal sat-nav for geographers and architecture students. You get lots of buildings all programmed in. However, as a navigational tool, the PSP's screen didn't quite match the clarity of the iPhone's, and the sound was also a bit weak. But the biggest problem was the lack of illuminated buttons, making it difficult to adjust the unit in the gathering gloom. Change view. Oh, that's a very wide view. And then the mount started to play up. Ah! Oh! Bloody hell. However, as I passed my waypoint... Oh, and here we are in the Place de la Concorde. Very splendid it looks too. I couldn't fault the actual navigational abilities of the PSP system. Directions are pretty easy to follow, though. Know what's coming up next. I felt the PSP was guiding me to my destination almost as well as the iPhone, though it hadn't proved as user-friendly. Ah, well, I can see the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is remarkable because it was only meant to be a temporary structure, so it shouldn't really be here. Happily it is, and so was I. But had the sat-nav add-ons performed as well as a purpose-built sat-nav? The Archos certainly hadn't, and only gets 2 Gs. Although I liked the big 3D screen graphics, it was complicated to set up. It had a poor speaker and lost its way every now and then. The PSP with Go Explore gets 3 Gs. It provided good navigation, but was let down by an inadequate speaker and a lack of illuminated controls, so it too would be a questionable substitute for a dedicated system. But the TomTom-equipped iPhone deserves 4 Gs. It's easy to use and offers precise navigation. It's as good as a real TomTom. Just a pity it costs £60 more than their comparable standalone unit.